Good afternoon, everyone, my dear friends and respected sir. My today's topic is use of figurative language in poem "A Red Red Rose" by Robert Burns. This is my personal information. Contained writer's introduction. I. Richard's four kind of meanings. Use of figurative language in poem "A Red Red Rose" and conclusion. This information is taken from Britannica and Poetry Foundation of the writer I. Richardson. I. Richardson, full name is Ivor Armstrong Richardson. He was a critic, a teacher who was highly influenced in developing a new way of reading poetry and leads to new criticism. And he also worked with C.K. Ogden and Richard created the teaching tool Basic English and simplified version of English language. And these are the scholarly work of I. Richardson, practical criticism, the philosophy of rhetoric, the meaning of meaning, which was worked with C.K. and both worked together in this. And Richardson taught in Cambridge University and Harvard University and died in 1979. These are the four meanings I. Richardson has given. First is sense. Sense is that referred to by writer. Feelings means how they are writing, what are their emotions, what are their attitude, pleasures. This all the things are expressed in the feelings. Next is tone. Tone is the writer's attitude to his readers or audience. In which language or in which tone, recognizing how the is writing and how the reader is recognizing it. And the fourth is intention. In intention, the writer's aim is to be conscious with what expression, with what intention, and with what attention he is writing, and that is shown in intention. Now I will compare. Now I will say about the figurative language used in the poem "Red Red Rose." In this, the poet has used the metaphor of natural object, which is rose, which is he used for his beloved. In first stanza, the writer has compared his love with a fresh rose, and and second he compares her with a nicely played melody. In this stanza, the writer has compared his beloved with a red rose, which is a natural object and a metaphor used. And in the second, while the first comparison describes her beauty and second tells about her temperament, she is beautiful lady and nice temperament and a kind heart. And in the second and third stanza, the speaker tells about the never-ending love for her beloved. He used the metaphor and the language which is surreal and which doesn't happen. In this, he has used the lines in the poem. Till the seas gang dry, till the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. I will love the thief till, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. This he promises her that her love uh, he will love her till the end of the sea goes dry, which is impossible. And in the third stanza line, he compares the love to her till the rock melts with the sun. And this also are the lines which he has written for his beloved, but which is not going to happen. In the last line of third stanza, he is telling that he would love till the last day of his life. He also uses the imaginary of seas drying, rocks melting with the sun, and the sands of life running. He uses imaginary express unborn and never-ending love with her. In the symbolism represents the quality and symbolic meaning. The red rose stand for the love and romance and symbolizes the love between speaker and her beloved. In this, even the imaginary is also used. Five senses are used, and the poet used three visual imaginaries in this poem. Oh, my love is like a red rose, and the rock melts with the sun, while the sands of the life shall run. And even in this poem, the hyperbole is also used. Here the lines are, till a seas gang dry, there is a hyperbole, seas never dry, and the rock melts with the sun, this is also hyperbole, rock never melts. The tone of this poem is exhaling love, it is passionate, loving, and celebratory. He tells the love he believes, and the last stanza assures the infinity of love. In this poem, the writer is using the figurative language, like metaphor, hyperbole, and he's using this for showing the love for her beloved. In the last stanza, the writer is bidding farewell to her beloved, and he even tells the speaker tells he's planning to live on journey. The beloved doesn't need to worry through because the speaker promises to return, even if the journey is 10,000 miles long. And last conclusion, here the writer uses figurative language to express his love towards beloved. He compares a red rose and also tells he will love her till the seas dry and the rocks melt, which is impossible because sea never dry and rocks never melt. These are my citations. Thank you.
Amina, uh, what does modify writers' expressions?
Means I'm not able to understand your question.
Uh, what does modify writers' expressions?
But in what sense you are asking?
You you mentioned 4 points.
Yes.
In,
Yes, I mentioned the 4 points: feeling, tone, intention. So they had 4 points. It is given by I. Richardson in Practical Criticism. The function of languages that shows that how the writer are expressing their feelings while writing. These 4 points are shown in that: feelings, tone, intention.
As you mentioned in your second slide that I Richard give the idea of creating the poetry. Can you give any one rule of creating the poetry?
Means I. Richardson poetry.
As you mentioned that I Richard give the idea of rule creating the poetry. So can you give any one idea of any rule, one rule? Okay.
I don't know proper, but in the practical criticism of this four language, in this function of languages, he's giving these four ideas of poem, that how the writer starts writing by these four ideas and what are the intentions who are writing and how the readers can understand how the writer is writing.